This is a real quick recipe to get up and running with the marbleScript that I provided in class, so that you could start creating a marble concept control system. And so this will be just a real quick down and dirty get up and running with the script. Now I've provided a link to this script, the marbleScripts folder, and inside the marbleScript folder is a marble .js. Just a simple JavaScript, and I'll jump into Unity and go into my project folder here, look into assets, and inside my scripts folder I have the marbleScript. Now you can just drag any of these scripts in. So if I had a script, let's say I want to use this force script or this force1 script, I could throw that into a folder, and now I can apply that to whatever object that I want. So in order to get this marbleScript up and running, I want to create a real simple scenario. And in order to do this, what I'll do is I'll get rid of my first-person controller, and I'll also get rid of my main camera. Now you can keep your main camera, that's fine if you keep it in the scene, and you can use the main camera for this purpose, but I just want to show you if you're creating this from the ground up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sphere as a game object. So a game object creates sphere. With that sphere selected, I'll go to Components, Physics, and add a rigid body to that sphere. I'm also going to want to create a camera in the scene. Again, I just deleted all of my cameras, so I definitely need a camera inside this environment, and I'll back my camera up here so it's looking, you can see in the preview, it's looking at my sphere, and when I hit the play button, I should see my sphere fall through the air. And that's because it's falling through the air because I added a rigid body to it. So it's being affected by the physics engine. So if I hit play, again, I see that sphere falling through the environment. So the next thing I need to do, it's a two-step process. The first thing that I want to do is, with the camera selected, I want to use some of the scripts that Unity has provided. And so I'll go to Components, I'll go to Camera Control, and I'll choose Mouse Orbit. Once I do that, with the camera selected, because I chose Mouse Orbit, I now have the Mouse Orbit script attached to the camera that I had selected. Once I do that, I need to load my sphere, my marble, whatever your target is, I need to load that into this target field here. So I'm going to go find my sphere, and I'll click and drag and drop that into the target. Now I'll check and make sure the script is working. When I hit the play button, the camera should snap to the sphere. It's doing that, and I see that I have a mouse orbit. So as I move my mouse around, my camera is orbiting. So it's fixed, it's targeted on my target, which in this case is the sphere, and as I roll my mouse around, I get the camera orbit. So the next thing that I'll need to do is make sure that my camera is tagged with the main camera tag, because the script that I'm about to use, the marbleScript, requires that our main camera is tagged with the main camera tag. So to get the marbleScript working, I'll just grab the sphere, and I'll take the marbleScript and I'll click, drag, and drop onto the sphere. And once I do that, I can look over in the inspector here, and I see that there's a marbleScript. The marbleScript also has a force, and I can influence that value. This is just the force at which the marble, the force that's applied to the marble to make it move through this environment. So I can orbit with my mouse, and when I hold the A, W, S, D keys, I can kind of strafe around. I can orbit with my mouse, and whenever I press the W key, it's going to apply force in the direction of the camera. So I have this real simple control system set up based on the script that I provided. Okay, so now I have this marble, I'm moving around, and I could do some really quick kind of physics style gameplay if I can run over here and kind of launch up my volcano. I don't have enough force to really launch this thing, but there we go. I could also start to influence and start to use that same health system. Now right now this health system is not working with my marble, because if you remember when we set up in previous presentations in Playmaker, when I created that basic health system, I need the object that's colliding or triggering with these objects to be tagged with player. and currently my sphere is tagged with untagged. So if I change that to player and I hit the play button, excuse me, now when I run into these cubes, they're disappearing and they're also, working the way that they should. So they're adding to my health and everything's working just fine. Remember, we tagged this because if we're shooting projectiles or we have some bad guys running in our scene, we don't want the bad guys or the projectiles to come across these good cubes and bad cubes and influence our health. That's only for us to do. So as our player is running around and interacting with the environment and interacting with these trigger events, it's the thing that's triggering our health increase or decrease. So that's just a real quick get up and running with the MarbleScript, and we'll push this forward in future presentations.